Alright you guys, what's happening? Welcome to another matchday reaction. This time we're talking Rangers 0, Aberdeen 2 in the Scottish Cup quarter-final replay for tonight at Ibrox. Another fantastic win for us in Glasgow. Right, so to explain my situation tonight, I couldn't get off work, so I couldn't go. That was a pain in the fucking arse. And before I talk about how I was able to watch a decent chunk of the game, I've got to have a rant about UEFA now. This rule about not being allowed to broadcast games that are conflicting with Champions League is fucking ridiculous, and I'm absolutely sick of it. I think that, I remember actually a couple of years ago, there was a Hibs Hearts replay that wasn't allowed to be on the telly because of some Champions League game. Whereas tonight, Man City against Schalke, who the fuck in Scotland cares about that, honestly? I'll be honest, I didn't even care what the score was. It's about 3 hours after the game finished, I still don't know what the score was in that game. I don't care. I don't care about the Champions League. I don't care about the knockouts. It's a competition that is purely designed so the rich stay rich and fuck everybody else. So the idea that we're now in a situation where massive games can't be broadcast because it's conflicting is ridiculous, especially now that they're spreading like the second round over all these different weeks as well. They used to do it all in 1 week, whereas now it's like 2 this week, 2 the next day, 2 the next day, and it's just ridiculous. So I think, if I'm right in saying, the second round or the knockout stage, the last 16, whatever, is spread over 5 weeks, and 4 of those weeks there's games, and then there's one in the middle where there isn't. It's absolutely fucking ridiculous. Now, obviously, there's a possibility that you could try and manipulate the system just in case something like this comes up, and schedule Scottish Cup replays for that, but you're having to move them a week or two, and it's pish. So, yeah. Absolutely stupid. But we'll get the negativity out of the way with that. First off, my thing tonight was interesting. So obviously the game wasn't really being broadcast anywhere. So the first half, I missed the first 10-15 minutes. And then I managed to see the last half hour on Periscope. And I saw it on Periscope because there was a guy who was in the Rangers end in the main stand recording it. The feed was kind of shite, but you could sort of see what was going on. The few things I was a wee bit unsure about, I've now seen on Sports Scene, so that was quite good. So the first half, obviously, we get off to an absolutely tremendous start. Niall McGinn nips in to score. Glenn Kamara has played an absolutely suicidal ball for Tavernier. Far too far in front of him, McGinn nips in and just slams it past McGregor low for 1-0. And as we saw when we beat them there in December, getting an early goal against them, they really didn't react particularly well. And I think for the rest of the first half, they kind of did what they did the last time. They were going nowhere, and they had a lot of possession, but they really weren't that dangerous. I think the only difference was in December they played at a snail's pace, whereas tonight they actually did up the tempo a wee bit, but mostly they were just lacking quality, to be honest. But the one big thing for the first half that we need to talk about was their penalty shout, which now that I've seen on Sports Scene, I think was a penalty. And Morelos got booked for it. Morelos spent the whole night diving, but weirdly the one he got booked for, I didn't think was a dive. So we have to admit we got a massive let off with that one. And yeah, I looking that back, I can't make an argument that wasn't a penalty. So definitely a wee slice of luck for us on that one. About 2 minutes later, I think McKenna's been booked for Morelos going down so easily, it's unreal. And yeah, so it's just the usual inconsistency you get from Scottish refs, it's ridiculous. But yeah, the rest of the first half, there really wasn't a huge amount going on for us. But again, we defended well like we did on Saturday. We were throwing our bodies at everything. And I think that's why we've been able to have the Indian sign over Rangers this season. Because I think that a signature of Derek McInnes' sides since he came to Aberdeen was he had good sides that lacked a bit of bottle. I honestly still feel that this team this season is lacking the same quality as it did a couple of seasons ago. But the bottle that they showed tonight, and they've shown on umpteen occasions this season, has been so encouraging. I mean, Ryan Jack hits the post. Obviously, they've got the penalty shout, but that was it for the first half. And to be honest, in the second half, it wasn't like they had a clear-cut opportunity at any point. So, yeah, just really pleased to see this team showing some guile, showing some bottle, and fighting hard for each other and really playing as a side. It's really hard to single guys out tonight for particular praise, because I thought that overall this was just a really good team performance from what I saw. So, the second half, I don't know how somebody did this, but they managed to get the Premier Sports feed on Periscope. So whoever did that, cheers for that. It was a Rangers fan, I know that, because it was actually a really funny moment, because he had like a notepad open and he would type things in the top corner of the stream, and with about 50 minutes to go, he's like, should I stop the stream? We're not winning this, which was absolutely brilliant. I loved that. We have, again, just been very, very organised, and then we've hit them on the break. So it's Stevie May with a lovely inside ball to Conor McLennan. McLennan showed great composure to roll it past Alan McGregor for 2-0. And to be honest, you're never going to relax completely, but at 2-0, they were done. At 2-0, they were absolutely done. There was a couple of shots for distance that Lewis parried away. Other than that, to be honest, they really weren't a huge threat. Morelos was trying to throw himself over in the box at every opportunity, because that's what he does. I think, to be honest, from our point of view, the biggest positive we can take about Alfredo Morelos is not the fact that he's been getting sent off in the games he was this season. Obviously, that's helped. But I think the biggest thing we can take for the last 2 games in particular is that we're in his head. Now, I thought after the 4-2 game when he got sent off and McKenna got sent off, the whole storyline has been about Morelos and McKenna. Whereas, to be honest, it's been a lot of the time Considine that's been on Morelos over these 2 games in the Cup. And Considine's done a brilliant job with him, to be honest. Granted, he was lucky not to give away the penalty in the first half. But other than that, Considine's been absolutely tremendous in these 2 games. And I mean, if you've seen a few of my matchday reactions, I'm always very nervous about Andy Considine, and I really still didn't trust him. But his performance in the first game was very, very good. His performance tonight, for what I've seen, was absolutely tremendous. So, fair play to him. He did a fantastic job with Morelos. McKenna played great as well, because he's on a great run of form at the moment. And yeah, I felt we saw it out extremely comfortably. With 10 minutes to go, there was honestly no doubt in my mind that we were going to win that game. And there was no doubt in my mind in terms of them scoring. I really did not see them scoring. So, I mean, you never want to take anything for granted in games like that, but I thought we saw it out really, really comfortably. So, really, really delighted to win again in Glasgow. I mean, over the last, 10 calendar months, we've got 4 wins in Glasgow. 1 at Celtic Park, 1 at Hampden against Rangers, and then both our visits to Ibrox. It's brilliant. And bearing in mind, in those 4 games, we haven't conceded a goal either. So that is absolutely tremendous. Disappointed I couldn't be there. I was there in December. That was a great night. But tonight would have been absolutely fantastic for the fans that went. Obviously, the smaller allocation, not smaller than the league, just smaller than you'd get in the Cup normally, because I think Kilmarnock had like 2,000 there in the last round for that replay, and we got 972, which was really kind of disappointing. But I hope all the boys and girls who were there tonight absolutely enjoyed their evening. And yeah, it's worth remembering that they did everything they could to fill out the stands, and because it's the Cup, we get half the gate receipts, so that's pretty good. Overall, we've got to be really, really happy with the last few days. We've got to be really, really happy with the point at Celtic Park, and we've got to be absolutely delighted to knock out Rangers. That's twice now that I'm sure the Scottish media were really, really looking forward to an Old Firm Cup game, and we've gone and spoiled it by beating Rangers. So yeah, thrilled to bits with Aberdeen, and hopefully we can really springboard the rest of our season. So the only 2 games I really want to talk about at the moment are the semi-final, which is Celtic at Hampden. I think that there were a few Celtic fans, well, I know there was a few Celtic fans who kind of wanted Rangers to win tonight, because they thought that Rangers, just the style of play would be better for them, because not so much this season, but certainly Celtic at Hampden against Rangers over the last few years have just had their way with them. Whereas when we've gone to Hampden and played them, other than that League Cup final a couple of years ago, we've given them something to think about. So I imagine that we will go into that game with a lot of confidence and a lot of belief that we can go and at least give them a scare. And if you can go and give them something to think about, you're in the game. Obviously, the massive disappointment for us is Shinnie will be suspended for that game, so that's a pain in the hole. Lewis Ferguson's playing really, really well. But Graham Shinnie's the heartbeat of that midfield. He's had a couple of off games here and there, but some of his performances have been absolutely tremendous at the same time, and I thought he was tremendous tonight. There was not a guy in red who you could fault tonight, so we're going to miss him in the semi-final, but hopefully we can find a way to give Celtic a game in that semi, and who knows, if we give them a game, you've always got a chance. Other game obviously we need to talk about is Livingston on Saturday. It would be typical Aberdeen to have a letdown after the last 2 games to go and do something silly against them. Livingston I think Livingston won at the weekend, but they have been in such a dreadful run of form since about November, December time. So we've got to really build on what's happened this week and take that into the Livingston game. Because again, talking about our team a couple of years ago, the reason we were able to finish second the last couple of years, and finish second as often as we did, is because we were flat track bullies and we would just beat all the teams we should beat, and then when it came to the big games we would kind of struggle. Whereas we've kind of done the opposite this season. Obviously we've had some very positive results against Rangers. We've had a draw against Celtic, 2 defeats in the league, but some close games there. But then you look at like that St Mirren game a couple of weeks ago where we were shit, that Hamilton home game where we were just ridiculous. And that's been our letdown this season. And if we'd done what we had normally done, coupled with the fact that we've been picking up points against Rangers and a point against Celtic, we'd easily be second, but we're not. We're 8 points behind. And we can't really have any complaints because of some of our performances. St Johnstone at home was another one that just popped into my mind as well. That was absolutely dreadful. But and also our away form's been great, but our home form's been terrible. So this is a great opportunity to turn that around. So hopefully Saturday we will see more of the same, because these last 3 days have been absolutely brilliant. But I'm going to wrap this up just now because I could talk all night. It's always great winning in Glasgow. It's great to go there twice in 3 days. Win 1, draw 1, not concede a goal. Absolutely delighted with that. So we'll wrap up just now. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed, hit the red subscribe button. Like the video as well, which helps it get out there. And if you know anybody who enjoy it, share it with them. I've been QMJ. Thank you for watching. I will talk to you again sometime.